What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai, an extension of Anime Senpai PH channel. All pieces of information are derived from the light novel. In today's video, we will continue chapter 2, volume 8 of the light novel, entitled The Invitees. This video is the 10th part of chapter 2 in our Tensura spoiler video series. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, feel free to check out the links in the description below. If you want to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
He honestly scared Mjllmile sometimes. He began to wonder just how far ahead he was thinking. The thought gave him vague fears, even as his mind filled with wild dreams.
Now, along those lines, I think I've stumbled upon a new way we can use your healing potions. That medicine can heal you as long as you are not killed instantly, yes? That means our competitors can fight with no small level of intensity, I assume. Plus, if a fighter is injured in one match and appears good as new in the next one, that would certainly make for some good advertising.
What?
Oh, did you not think that far?
No, I did. It's just that, I wanted to see if your thoughts were any different from mine.
Ah, I see. Yes, I'm sure you've already considered that much, Rimuru. But I'm not done yet.
Mjllmile began to lay out idea after idea for him. This turned into a volley of brainstorming and compliments on the ideas. One concept was advertising the healing potion at the tournament, then selling it on site to adventurers. Another involved weapon and armor rentals and sales.
Even Kurobi's failures at the forge are pretty off the charts when it comes to raw power. We can't sell those to just anyone, but he has a workshop full of apprentices these days. Offering their stuff shouldn't be an issue.
They decided to give it a shot. Another idea thrown around was state-run betting operations. This also existed in Anglacia, where even simple pick'em bets were netting huge amounts of revenue at the arena. They could do the same thing pitting warriors against captured monsters, which had its risks, of course, but Rimuru had a small army of powerful fighters at this point, so it wasn't nearly the hazard Mjllmile pictured. Maybe they could even offer training courses for beginner adventurers, reserving part of the arena's space as a dojo of sorts. The lessons would be paid, of course, but they'd come with qualified instructors to guide newbies through the basics. The ideas came rolling one after the other from Mjllmile. As long as Rimuru was providing his full support, he felt like he'd never run out of them. He couldn't stop thinking about how huge his role was, dreaming up possibilities and being responsible for making them happen. It was a bit daunting, but far more than that, exciting.
I'll do it.
He said with a shiver.
I'll do it all for you. My merchant's soul is telling me we're going to make a massive pile of money on this.
Excellent. I love that confidence of yours, Molly. And I know you got what it takes to give me the kind of revenue I want.
Rimuru's praise embarrassed Mjllmile a bit. But he wasn't done yet.
Also, if you're interested, of course, if this whole tournament turns out well, you want to come to live in my town? I could make a trade department for you, or maybe a PR firm or general financial office. It doesn't matter what we call it, actually, but I could let you run it all. I got a pretty big population to govern these days, and once the tournament's over, I think it's high time we reorganize our administration. I'm sure everyone will agree to it, as long as you can pull this off. What do you think?
Rimuru sounded like he didn't doubt Mjllmile at all. It made his heart dance. The question, "What do you think?" plucked his heartstrings like a master harpist, and the melodies echoed over and over through his mind like a concert hall. He gave him a strong nod.
There's just no beating you, Rimuru. Or should I start calling you Sir Rimuru? I promise you, Sir Rimuru, I'll do whatever it takes to succeed and join your team.
There wasn't a moment's hesitation. How could there ever be? This man has counted on me so far, he thought. I can't let myself mess this up. As advanced as he was in age, Mjllmile was now captive to the burning fires of excitement and hope and dreams in his heart. He could barely stay seated. He wished he could bottle this feeling up in a jar and keep it nearby forever.
You don't have to exaggerate.
Rimuru laughed, but the more they got into details, the more Mjllmile felt like he was going to jump out of his skin. Pulling this event off, and becoming Rimuru's trusted associate, was his new ambition in life, and he was ready to fight tooth and nail to make it happen. Once Rimuru left, Mjllmile called over his retainers and servants.
What did Sir Rimuru want from you, Sir Mjllmile?
Asked Bid, the former sea-level adventurer who was now the merchant's personal bodyguard.
Bid.
Mjllmile replied with an elated nod.
Things are about to get very busy.
Oh, did he give you another impossible task? I like all the ideas he has, but I wish he understood how much he puts you through the ringer, huh?
Bid laughed, but he didn't really mean it. Just like Mjllmile, Bid owed Rimuru his life. Bid was one of the Demon Lord's greatest fans, and while he described it as a ringer, Bid probably enjoyed the ringing more than anyone else. Mjllmile chuckled back at him.
Bid, this is gonna be nothing like you've ever seen before. Everything I've done up to now was like selling pencils on the street corner compared with what's coming. I'll be wagering my destiny on this one.
He already looked like a mob boss, but Mjllmile's smile only added to his foreboding presence. His retainers were used to it, but none could hide their surprise upon hearing this declaration.
What do you mean by that, boss?
His chief butler asked. His boss gave him a quick recap, running a battle tournament alongside the Founders Festival, together with a test run of their upcoming fast food concept. The festival itself would be a show of force for the newly ascended Rimuru, an effort all of Tempest was pitching in for, and the scope of it was likely beyond even Mjllmile's imagination. His excitement at receiving such a vital assignment was plain as he explained to the staff.
Thus, I've decided that I want to become part of Rimuru's team. No matter what, I have to make sure this is a huge success.
His servants began to chatter among themselves. Mjllmile, it seemed, had no intention of returning to Bloomend. It caused quite a stir.
You ain't planning on going alone, are you, Sir Mjllmile? Maybe I'm just some punk off the street, but I'm still your bodyguard. The gang I got under me practically worships Sir Rimuru. Take me along with you.
You wouldn't be able to guard so much as a flea over there.
Ah, come on.
But if you would like to assist me in other ways, I suppose I could bring you alone.
Sure thing, boss. I'll do anything for you. I ain't exactly intelligent, but I got street smarts, you know.
Bid likely did, given his swindler past, although it left Mjllmile less than convinced.
Bah, all right. The more the merrier, I suppose. And I bet that gang of yours could provide at least a little security, if they know they'll get a meal out of it. Let's take him along, now.
He continued, turning toward his retainers.
What about you? You're free to continue using this manner if you like.
Let us join you, sir.
They said in near unison. There was no hesitation among them, after all, Mjllmile had trained them. Nothing was keeping them in this nation. It was decided, and now, the real work began. As a full-fledged citizen of Bloomend and member of the Free Guild, Mjllmile had the freedom to travel to other nations. But as a man who believed in fast action once he made a decision, he felt a duty to the business he had remaining in town. There was no need for anxiety about the future.
You.
Mjllmile said, pointing out one of his most talented employees.
You've proven yourself qualified enough. Do you think you could run things here for me?
Sir, this is so sudden.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that you'd like to join me, but think about it. We'll be starting completely from scratch in Sir Rimuru's domain. I'm planning to be a big success and win over his trust, but I don't want you to run that gauntlet, too.
This was a cover story. In truth, he didn't want to sell this manor and lose his base of operations in Bloomend. Ideally, a few of his people would remain here, keeping the lights on whenever his work brought him back. The leader he picked, a man named Bach, was brought here by his father, a relative of Mjllmile's who'd asked him to train his son in the business. He proved quick-witted enough to live up to his end of the bargain. However, Bach's family had faced difficulty after his father's business failed, leaving him with nowhere to return to, so Mjllmile decided to formally hire him as head clerk. At the moment, that family was living off Bach's income, and Mjllmile felt too guilty about having him go off on this risky venture. He had no complaint about his work. No doubt the business would work fine under his watchful eye.
Boss, I couldn't be happier to receive this offer from you. But I hope that we could perhaps join you.
Bach, no doubt, was too young to readily accept this. He was reluctant to go fully independent yet. Perhaps he thought he still had things to prove to Mjllmile. It was cute of him, but Mjllmile didn't like it. If Bach wanted to stand out on his own, he had to be let out in the wild sooner or later. This was a golden opportunity.
Bach, I am not your father. I'm offering you a position running this business, but I'm not giving it to you. Listen, even after I leave here, you better not do anything that puts this business on the rocks, all right? In fact, once you're able, I'd like to see you buy this outfit out from under me. So make it a big success and bring your parents back here someday, all right?
Mjllmile gave him an affectionate smile and patted him on the shoulder. It was a tender moment, even if he still intended to work out a contract with Bach and keep a piece of the proceeds. Mjllmile was a merchant, occasionally a hard taskmaster, but never a philanthropist. Besides, Mjllmile reasoned, if Bach can't even pay me for my share of the business, Bach would never have what it takes to succeed in the first place.
Thank you.
Bach said, choking up a bit.
Thank you. I promise you that I'll make a man out of myself and repay this favor.
I hope you do.
Replied Mjllmile, smiling ear to ear. Now he went to work, choosing who to bring and who to keep behind.
If you ever have any problems,
he advised Bach.
Tell me about them, and I'll help. But I believe in all of you. I know you'll do just fine. Don't disappoint me.
The group remaining in Bloomend all nodded at him. Mjllmile had trained them thoroughly, none of them would fall out of line. Even if they were dealing with high nobility, he was sure they'd never do anything ill-advised.
You've taught them all well. Rest assured they will not let you down.
Bach said in return.
Well said. Also, while I'm sure you're aware of this,
Do not worry, sir. I promise we will maintain the sales markets you've built up here. If you ever need access to them, we'll give you first priority.
Good. I hope you will.
Just in case, Mjllmile wanted to be sure he got first dibs on any goods he might need. He always kept an eye on every facet of the situation, and Bach was in perfect sync with his thoughts. He's still a little green, but he's starting to look the part, at least. Now he was sure Bach wouldn't let him down. The last of his affairs were now squared away, and it was time for Mjllmile to make the journey to Tempest with his retainers in tow.
That's it for this video, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon so you will never miss the upcoming continuation of Tensura spoiler video series. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shout out to the top 10 commenters on my previous video. Shout out to King AMVs, Walter OB, Hare, Rival Sakilin, Mr. Amazon, 04 Sarang, Ashley Lobo, Tempest, Maki Galang Paa, Goan Shoan, Canaria MLBB, Maki Bailey, Mihar Amith, Yusef BTR, Eric Fimate, and last but not the least, shout out to Jake Rum. I'll see you guys in the next video.